This is Crick Crack Science Podcast, created by upcomespr.com, and I'm your science storyteller, Valene Mc Dougall. Right now, it's about 5:30 p.m. I'm on my afternoon walk, and I've stopped near a magnificent mango tree, and I'm waiting for it. Any moment now, it's going to... There it goes! It's a huge bat. It's just flown by me in a kind of swift silence, flying out from the shadowy crown of this mango tree. If I had to guess, I'd say its wingspan is just under a foot, say maybe 8 or 10 inches. It's like clockwork almost. I imagine it's leaving its hidden roost to find food. But what will it eat? I wonder. What do all bats eat? It's back to naturalist and bat expert Geoffrey Gomes to find out.
In the New World, that's in the Americas, South America, North America, Central America, including the Caribbean, there are 9 families of bats, right? Of which in those families you have multitudes of species. In Trinidad, 69 species, all 9 bat families are represented. Okay? We have the vast majority of those are insectivorous bats. And then we have fruit-eating bats. And then we have nectar-feeding bats. And then we have bats that feed on fish. If you ever seen them on the islands, or if you go to Hyatt Hotel and sit down there on the shoreline there, or where the sea is, you will sometimes see these bats fishing. Right? They're big bats. Huh? They're like that. Another carnivorous bat we have is the frog-eating bat. The frog-eating bat is quite rare in Trinidad. We only really have picked them up in the Guayguari Forest, Nariva Swamp, and so on, right? Now, these bats, they basically hunt by, they go to puddles. You know those frogs, the Latin name is, the scientific name for this frog is Physalaemus. Pungala. Pungala, right? Well, when I used to, as a boy, I'd go to the drive-in cinema up at Kedona, and the insects, you couldn't hear the movie. It was the pungala, right? With these frogs. But so this is what we call locally a canal frog. It's very common. And this frog-eating bat, he likes that frog, right? So what he will do is he will find a puddle or somewhere. Now, they can hear them when they're calling. You know, frogs, when they're male frogs, they can't help it. They're trying to call for the female. And this bat has figured out, you know, he just has to listen for them. So he will perch in the case of a bat means hanging. He will hang upside down and figure out exactly where the frog is and then pounce on it.
As we discuss the different types of bats and what they eat, I find out some detail about wingspans and just which species is the largest bat in our part of the world.
Now, the biggest bat, not just in Trinidad, in the entire New World, in the entire South America, the entire North America, the biggest bat in the New World is a bat called the spectral bat. The spectral bat is a carnivorous bat. It grows to just over 1 meter in wingspan, 3 feet. This is a big bat, right? They live in the forests, and they're very hard to come across. And but we come across them, you know. And they eat small species of bats. You know? Mm-hmm. They eat birds. You know, birds sleep in the night in trees and stuff. They're able to find them usually by scent. Mm-hmm. And they eat. They will eat other creatures as well, but mainly birds and bats. And they will also eat mice and rats, right?
Unbelievable. Would never have guessed.
We have footage of one of these bats at a roost flying in with a rat, an entire rat, right, in its jaws. And then it hangs there and it eats the entire thing, swallows it all the way, tail and all, right? Now, so these are carnivorous bats, and you don't come across them. You are never going to see this bat, right? In fact, even people who go in the forest at night, they're not going to see them because they're silent. They might just get something flew by. They don't even know what it is, right? And that is this bat, all right? So these bats are interesting, but they are really the minority when it comes to what most of the bats in Trinidad are about.
Speaking about flying, I did notice how silent bats appear to be, like brief shadows in the darkening night. They seem to be excellent flyers, but they don't have feathery wings, so how exactly do they fly? Or maybe glide?
So a bat is from a group of mammals called Chiroptera. And Chiroptera means hand wing. So a bat's wing is made up of a short upper arm, a long forearm, and very elongated fingers. That's what a bat's wing is. So when a bat is flapping like this, it is effectively flying with its arms and fingers, right? And of course, all of this is enveloped by skin, right? Now, when a bat is flying, it's using its arm and fingers to gain lift, to provide speed, to change how the lift is, how much lift it has, more or less, and all that. It just manipulates itself. Its hand and its arm and fingers like that to control flight.
And with this sort of flight control, bats have been found to fly about a mile high or 1,600 meters above sea level. And some species of bats can fly at surprisingly higher altitudes. One study recently published in Mammalia describes 6 species of bats in Papua New Guinea that were found to fly as high as 3,600 meters or 2 miles above sea level. Now, bats also seem to fly quite fast. In early 2021, researchers who published their findings in the journal Current Biology wrote that some bats can fly at self-powered air speeds above 130 kilometers per hour and can use uplifting winds along rising landscapes to soar at high altitudes. Along with their flying prowess, bats have a unique sensory ability that helps them navigate. In our next episode, we encounter insectivorous bats and learn how this sixth sense helps them hunt. Thanks for listening to this episode of the Crick Crack Science Podcast. Feast of Frogs is part 2 of the series Bats of Bat Island, produced by myself, Valene Mc Dougall, and edited by Jason Gittins, with music production by Resonant Media. Music featured in this episode is titled Weekend in Tatooine by Unicorn Heads. Crick Crack Science is a science storytelling and multimedia hub where we explore topics in STEM that impact the Caribbean region and the world. Want to learn how Crick Crack Science can help you tell your science story? You can contact us via email at opcomspr@gmail.com or get in touch on social media at opcomspr.